Hello, everyone. It's time for Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanas. This is episode 243, season 10. Today's date is August 1st, 2023, and welcome to the show. Yes, I'm back, and it's also the first day of the month, so that's nice. So here I am to talk about what's on today's show. I will talk about the Phar-Mor Drug Stores. That's a discount drugstore. So way back in the 80s and the early 90s in Chicago. Also, I'll do a tribute to actor Paul Reubens, who we all know as Pee Wee Herman. I will talk about him, his biography, my memories of watching him on television, and in the movies. That's terrible. He was a funny guy. I could go on and on and on about him. Okay. So right now the program will go into commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Wrigley's Freedent Gum. And here's a commercial from 1978. Okay. So sit back and relax. And I'll be right back with the program. Thank you, everyone.
Know what? I can chew gum again. Big deal? It is to me. I had to give up gum because it stuck to my dental work. But with Freedent Gum from Wrigley's, I can enjoy chewing gum again. Fact is, until I'd found Freedent, I'd forgotten how fresh and clean my mouth and breath could feel. Anytime. Freedent in peppermint and spearmint. You'll like it.
Feel free to chew Freedent.
It won't stick to most dental work.
Freedent Gum.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Freedent Gum. That was from 1978. I remember the jingle, that was around when I was in high school. The product's still around. I haven't used it. I haven't chewed that one in quite a while. I'm not much of a gum chewer. I was back then when I was a teenager. Mostly bubble gum, like, for example, Bubble Yum, Bubblicious, Hubba Bubba. Remember those? I'll talk about those someday. And so they're available everywhere. You go to the 7-Eleven, Target, Walmart, Jewel, on Amazon, they got it. Help yourself. And it helps your teeth. So that's good. Reminds me of Orbit. Yeah, it's still around too. Okay. So at the beginning of the program, I said I was going to talk about Phar-Mor discount drugstores in the Chicagoland area. Also, my tribute to actor Paul Reubens, also known as Pee Wee Herman. Before I get started, I got a health update real quick. As everyone will know, I am going to the hospital on Thursday, not Friday. They changed that. And so I will see the oncologist the same day. They don't know what time. The oncologist, I'm going at 9 in the morning at 9 o'clock, but I don't know about the surgery. It could be after that, could be later, but it is the same day. So we'll see what happens. I'll find out probably tomorrow what's going to happen. Anyway, so I'm just kind of an operation. I had this before. This is the third time of this issue where they stretch the scar tissue around my urethra. I'll be okay. I hope so. And we'll see about at the oncologist. He's new, so I don't know. Maybe he's going to discuss the status of my medications. Maybe they'll be changed. Maybe they'll be stopped. I don't think they'll be stopped. Maybe they'll be changed. I don't know. That's up to him. We'll see. Uh, I'm doing okay. So far, I'm doing fine. Also, I want to mention a couple more celebrity deaths. I failed to mention that. I'm sorry. There were two. One was Sinead O'Connor. She died last week. She's famous for Nothing Compares to You, written by Prince. That's a beautiful song. I like that. She had an angelic voice. She was so pretty. We all know for her controversy and Saturday Night Live when she tore up the Pope's photo. I saw that when it happened. I did not expect that. And, she had issues. I don't want to go into detail like that. But when I saw that, it's like the whole show was in silence. I have never seen Saturday Night Live like that in my life. It was like so quiet. Oh my God. It was like, I don't think that's ever happened. Not ever since. No, I don't think so. Also, the other one was Randy Meisner. He was a member of the Eagles. Yeah, and he was a good singer. He left in 1977 at the height of their career, right after Hotel California, I believe, or their tour. And then he had his own hit, Hearts on Fire, I think. Hearts on Fire, I think, yeah, from 1981. I like that song. He was a good singer. He died at the age of 77. So that's sad. That really is. He rejoined the Eagles, in their tour and probably an album or so. Well, we'll see about that. No, we won't see about it. So that's what happened. So I guess he was close to him. Yeah, that's a shame. Okay. So let's get on with the show. I'm going to talk about Phar-Mor, and couple people requested I should talk about this. This was not recently. This is like a long time ago. So I figured this is the time to talk about it. I had memories of this place and I did shop there. So I'll give you a little history of that. Plus, I'll give you the locations of the store in the Chicagoland area, which I found in the Chicago Tribune. Okay, so here we go. So Phar-Mor was a chain of discount drugstores based in Youngstown, Ohio. And it was founded by two men. One was Michael Monas, nicknamed Mickey, and David Shapira in 1982. And they would advertise, they had low prices, and there were three slogans. I don't know if you remember or have heard. One is far more power buying gives you far more buying power. Okay. Then far more for less. And the ones they had on television is power buying savings, save it far more. That, I think I remembered that. So they had a lot of, so what I remember, it's like a Walgreens or a Costco, CVS. You don't see too many CVSs now. They're closing like that. They just closed one near my house. That's a shame. And they sold like the usual products that any drugstore had. They had, they had a pharmacy. They had liquor, of course, cosmetics, beauty aids, health, snacks. Where they had a 1 hour photo where you get your pictures develop. In the old days with the Kodak camera, probably sold cigarettes, on the counter. They had magazines, probably food. Maybe they did that. I don't know. I don't remember that part. And the thing is, it grew too quickly, like most stores like that. So that was like, whew, it was funny, like that. I'm sorry. like most, when you have a good thing and then it grows, and then it's grown out of control, you can't help it. So that's probably what happened. Anyway, so I found a newspaper clipping from the Chicago Tribune from 1992, and that listed all the locations. I'm not. I'll just list the suburbs, not the addresses. So, well, actually, there were two in Chicago. But I'll tell you the addresses. But as for the suburban locations, I'll just tell you just the suburbs. It'll be easy like that. Okay. So one was at 4626 West Diversity Avenue. That was on the north side. Also, it was at Yards Plaza. That's at the back of the Yards neighborhood on the south side of Chicago at 4520 South Damon. Okay. I have a feeling there were maybe a couple elsewhere in the city. Maybe. I don't know. But that's it. Maybe they were there, then they were closed. I don't know. Maybe they were going to reopen. I have no idea. Okay, and the suburbs they had them in Aurora, Bloomingdale, excuse me. Also at Burbank, Illinois, near my old house. That was at 7910 South Cicero Avenue, right? I think that's where McDade was. I'm not, probably that. And then right now it's a Jewel Lasco, but I think it was there. It could be. I could be wrong. I shopped there, and also next was Chicago Ridge. That was on 99th Street in Richland. I went to that one too. Also, I was in the area, so I remember that very well. I think my mother shopped there too. She shopped at Burbank and the one in Chicago Ridge. Also in Countryside, Crestwood, Evanston. That was at Evanston Plaza. Gurnee, Homewood, Joliet, Lake Zurich, Lansing, Lyons, Madison, Mount Prospect, Naperville, Niles, Palatine, Schaumburg, Skokie, Streamwood, and Vernon Hills. How you like that? If I missed one, you can comment, later on as you wish, which is fine. Okay, and like I said before, it was doing well, but there was like some shenanigans in the behind the scenes, if you. And Mickey Monis, and the CFO of his name was Patrick Finn, were accused of embezzlement. That happened in 1992, and that was. So they were founded the World Basketball League, which Monis found, and they moved about $10 million from Phar-Mor to buy the league. I think that's what happened. And then that's a no-no. Don't do that. So anyway, so then they had to file for bankruptcy, and Monis he was sentenced. And he went to prison, and he was convicted, and so that was it. And then let's see, and then he also conducted a second trial, and then he went to federal prison. I don't know what happened to him after that. And then there were remaining stores, but I think in Chicago they closed maybe in the mid '90s. No, I think it was closed in 1994. I saw an article like that. So they had like a going out of business sale. So they did that, but there were some stores remained, like around 1995, like that, and nobody wanted to buy it, and there was too much competition between CVS and Walgreens, so that didn't help. And then so it went away, and then in Youngstown, Ohio, where it was founded. They had a going on business sale there, and they sold about over 70 stores, and then they were bought by another discount chain called Marks. I never heard of it, so that's out somewhere else. Anyway, they also did a documentary on the TV series Frontline on Channel 11, WTDW. I want to see that. I think it's on YouTube. when I looked at that, I didn't watch it. I found it fascinating. So someday I will. I will watch that. So how this came about? Why did this happen? It's like, yeesh. And finally, it went defunct in 2002. And that was gone. So Phar-Mor was no more. No, that was it. Like that. Also, I just want to mention something. I remember the commercials on TV that featured Harry Anderson, who played the judge on Night Court. He used to advertise it in Chicago. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but I did. I remember that too. So right now, I'm going to play the commercial for Phar-Mor. This is from 1987. And luckily I found that. And then when I come back, I'll wrap it up about Phar-Mor. And then I'll talk about Paul Reubens. Okay? So sit back and relax, everyone. Thank you.
Phar-Mor is here. At Phar-Mor, we only buy when we get a terrific deal from our suppliers. Then we buy in tremendous quantities. That's power buying. And that saves you up to 50% on thousands of name brand items every day. Discover how Phar-Mor's power buying gives you far more buying power.
Shop Phar-Mor's 2 grand openings, Salem Square in Countryside and Bloomingdale Court.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Phar-Mor Pharmacy. You can find items on eBay. I was surfing the net and I found them. Like they had plastic shopping bags. They had some items there. They had like photo albums, with the labels like that. Also, items had the Phar-Mor sticker. So that was kind of cool seeing that. So help yourself if you want to buy something like that. But that's a shame what happened. It really is. To Phar-Mor. It was a good store. I liked it. I really did. There was not a problem with that. Okay. So right now I'm going to talk about actor Paul Reubens, who played Pee Wee Herman. He just passed away a couple of days ago, but his death was announced yesterday morning, Monday morning. And when I saw that on Facebook, I was like, whoa, oh my God, what happened? What happened to him? He was battling cancer for 6 years quietly. He didn't say anything. I don't know what kind. I mean, damn cancer. And so the last time I saw him on television was on the game show To Tell the Truth. Yeah, that's hosted by Anthony Anderson on Channel 7. I like that show. It's funny with his mama. And he was revealed as a mystery guest. He was one of like that. And it was him. And he talked in his normal voice. And boy, it was so nice to see him. It really was. And he was a good sport like that. And yeah, that was the last time I saw him on television. So anyway, I will talk about his biography right now. And then I will talk about his character, Pee Wee Herman, and also the TV show. We had a couple of TV shows based on Pee Wee, but I'll talk about Pee Wee's Playhouse, which he was well known about, that show, that is. Okay. So here we go. So he was born Paul Rubenfeld, August 27, 1952. He was born in Peekskill, New York. And he started at the Groundlings in LA. That's like a comedy troupe, just like Second City in Chicago. And that's where he developed the Pee Wee character. Yeah, I'll get into that in a moment. There's something I did not know. He auditioned for Saturday Night Live in 1980 and 81, around there. He didn't get the job. I wish he did, because around there didn't do very well at the time. When the famous cast left. So, but he created the character on it in a show in 1980. And I think it was on HBO. That's what it was. And then the first time I saw him as Pee Wee Herman was on David Letterman, Late Night with when he was on Channel 5, on NBC right after Johnny Carson. Because I was going to DeVry Institute of Technology at the time. I was at college, and late at night, I was studying, so I needed a break. So I turned on David Letterman. I did that all the time. And there he was. And I go, who is this guy? He's talking funny. He switches voices. He talked like a kid. Then he'd laugh like he laughed hysterically, and he dressed kind of, I don't know, geekish, and he had red lipstick and black hair. Like, I'm scratching my head. What? But I was fascinated by this man, and it was the funniest thing he did. Like, he brought this doll, one of those rubber dolls, and then when you squeeze it, the eyes poked out and the tongue poked out, stuck out. I know it sounds silly, but I thought it was hilarious. So that was funny, like that. And then he became very popular. And then he started in the movie Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and that came out in 1985. To tell you the truth, I didn't see it in the theater. I wish I did. I did see most of it on television, but I did not see the whole thing. I'm going to see the whole thing because I find it fascinating, because a lot of people who grew up in the 80s and the 90s, they loved him and the character, and they went to see that movie. The critics didn't care for it, but the audience loved it, and it was a great. He was a great character, and it was like all it is about a bike. He's riding his bike all around and like that. Oh, it's so funny, like that. And so that was released on August 9th, 1985. I remember that. It was in the summer, right around, now, like that. And it was fun. It had a great cast, like that. So it was funny. So, it was like, I don't know, it was hilarious, like that. Anyway, so someday I will watch it. I will. I will try to find it. Maybe it's on streaming, so we'll see about that. Anyway, so he did other appearances on David Letterman, and I don't think Johnny Carson, no. And maybe Jay Leno did later on. I have no idea. Anyway, so his early life, he thought he wasn't that funny, but he was. So that's great, like that. Okay, and one of his earliest appearances on television and movies was he was on the Gong Show, and he was. You remember that game show with Chuck Barris? Yeah, but he was playing somebody else, so that was not. He didn't play the Pee Wee character. Also, his first movie role was a movie called Midnight Madness. He was a Pinball City proprietor, Also, he was a waiter at the Chez Paul restaurant in Chicago, which we all know from the 1980 movie, The Blues Brothers. And that's a classic. But we didn't know that was Pee Wee Herman. That was Paul Reubens. But he was with these two famous guys, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, which is great. Like that. Oh, my God. Like that. And also, he was also in the two Cheech and Chong movies. One was Cheech and Chong's next movie. Also, Nice Dreams by the same man. In Nice Dreams, and he played Howie Hamburger Dude. Some parts of that, And then he did a couple more, and then he did Pee Wee's Big Adventure. Oh, and then that was it, like that. Amazing. Also, besides he did other movie roles, he was in Batman Returns. He played the Penguin's father. I remember that. Also, the Buffy Vampire Slayer. He was not in the movie, not the TV show. TV show. I saw the movie in the theater, and he was there. He was excellent. He was funny. That was a different character like that. So he did voice work, and he appeared on a lot of TV like that. Uh, and then, of course, he starred in the Saturday morning TV series Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yeah, I saw a few times on that show on Saturday morning. It is the most bizarre show I ever saw in my life. It reminds me of the Banana Splits. That's what it did. All the running around and the music and the jump, going crazy. It reminds me of the Monkees too, like that. But this was different. This he had he had Pee Wee there, laughing, making all kinds of noises. He had talking furniture, like the furniture talked to him, like that. So right now, I'm going to play the theme song of Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yeah, it's about a couple minutes long, about a minute and a half. Then after the theme song is played, I will talk a little bit more about the TV show, and then about what stopped his career. Yeah, briefly. Okay, so sit back and relax, and here is the theme song for Pee Wee's Playhouse. Okay, thank you, everyone.
And pull yourself up a chair.
The jury!
Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair. Pee Wee sure excited. Those friends have been invited to the wacky at Pee Wee's Playhouse. There's a crazy rhythm coming from Puppet Land.
What's that?
Dirty do a cool cat, Chicky Baby, or the Puppet Bear.
Yeah!
He got a couple of talking fish, and the genie who grant a wish. Chloe is the cuckoo at Pee Wee's Playhouse. Chloe's spinning, Mr. Windows winning, course Terry's flying by. Flowers are singing, the picture phone is ringing, and the dinosaur family goes hi. Mr. Kite soaring, Conky's still soaring, there's a flashing magic screen. The countess is so classy, Randy's kind of sassy, a nuttier establishment you've never seen. Spend the day with Pee Wee and you'll see what we mean.
Come on!
Get out of bed, there'll be no more napping.
Wake up!
Cause we're in a place where anything can happen. Now we giving you fair warning, it's gonna be that kind of morning. We're being wacky, we're getting nutty. Now it's cuckoo at Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the theme song for Pee Wee's Playhouse. That is the goofiest theme song I ever heard. I believe who sang the theme song was Cyndi Lauper. Yeah, I didn't know it was her. Yeah, it sounded like her, but I believe it was her. Oh my God! Well, there's Paul Reubens going like that too. Every time I hear it, it's crazy. It is crazy. One thing I forgot to mention on the 1985 movie Pee Wee's Big Adventure. There's a classic scene. He's arguing with some guy, and the classic line he always says, "I know you are, but what am I?" And he was saying that, and he kept saying it. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? He kept saying that all the time. So I watched it a couple times like that. Oh, it was hilarious. That was funny like that. And like that. So let's see. Yeah, so Pee Wee's Big Adventure, it became a cult classic. It really has been. The movie, because of the bike, because the bike that was centered in that movie, like that. It's nuts like that. He also made another movie. I'm trying to find it, what it's called, but that one was not successful. Once I find it, I'll let you know. And let's see. So after that, and then one day, you know, I was reading the USA Today. That was like in '91. I used to buy that paper like that, and I found a picture of Paul Reubens in a mugshot, and he got arrested in Sarasota, Florida. That's where his parents lived, and we all know what happened. He got arrested in a movie theater. I'm going to go into detail about that because I don't want to talk about that. All we know is he got arrested, but everything was fine. Someone uh, commented me on Facebook or sent me a couple people text me, why don't you talk about that? I don't want to talk about that. No, I don't want to talk about his arrest or like that's it doesn't belong in this program. If you want to listen to a podcast about that, I'm sure there are others that will do that sort of thing. But no, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so so the other movie he did was Big Top Pee Wee. That was in 1998. No, 1988. Excuse me. It didn't do very well in the box office, but some people did like it. It was different, and but they said the first one was better. They like Pee Wee's Big Adventure better. I don't blame them, But I think some people said that if you watch a second time, it sort of grows on you. I can understand that. Anyway, after his arrest, he kind of retired the character, but he made an appearance on MTV about a year later. Everything was fine, and then he didn't do much of the. He didn't appear as Pee Wee much in the '90s. Not really. No, he didn't do that. But he appeared on other talk shows like Conan O'Brien or Jimmy Kimmel, and he just being himself. I liked him that way. He was to me, he was very interesting, to listen, what he talked about on that. So that's great. I had great memories of watching him. I really did. I thought he was the funniest man. When I heard he passed away, I was saddened, and so did a lot of people. Yeah, that's terrible. But his TV appearances, his movies, his concerts, his will live on. Thanks, Pee Wee. We miss you. We will miss you. Okay. So that's it for the show. I'm all Pee-weed out. I don't want to talk about that. No offense. So I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Phar-Mor discount drug stores in Chicagoland area. Also, I did my tribute to actor Paul Reubens, also known as Pee Wee Herman. This program will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Hit subscribe. You'll get a notification that this program is ready to listen. Also, be posted on my YouTube channel, Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. You can subscribe to that. Also, be posted on my blog, Chicagoland.blog. Also, it'll be posted on my social media accounts: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It'll take you to the link. Those and Threads. So they all take you to the link to listen. It'll be on the YouTube link, so you can listen and also subscribe. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. So, because people still ask me, where's the podcast? Where can I listen to podcasts? I tell them the easiest way to listen to podcasts is go to YouTube. Do a search. Go, type in Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast, or if you subscribe on YouTube, you'll find it, and you probably get a notification from YouTube. that there's a new program to listen. People can listen on their phones, their desktop, their laptops. It's also streaming. If you have Spotify app, you can listen. Or YouTube. You can do that on your TV. Just lie down, sit down, and just relax. I did that a couple of times, I had to admit. So anyway, I don't probably do another podcast episode Saturday. It depends how I feel, after getting out of the hospital. But it's Thursday, so I think I'll be okay. By that time, I'll think about what I'll talk about next. Okay. So this is Pete Costanos, your host of Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry I'm rambling a little bit today, so just getting too excited. So everyone have a great day. Here's bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music with Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone. So long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.